Hey guys, it's Anna from Anna's Magical Moments. Welcome to my channel. So I am going to try to do at least some travel tips every few weeks, and so today's topic is TSA PreCheck worth it? And if you don't know what TSA PreCheck is, it's basically a program that TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, has set up that, you know, like if you've flown or if you've not flown before, so usually the process is that there's security checkpoints at the airports, and you go, you have to take off your shoes, you have to take off your belt. If you have a laptop in your bag, you have to pull it out. You also have to pull out all your liquids, and also make sure they're in if they're in their carry-on, that they're in like the travel size. Also, what's the other thing? Oh, if you have a light jacket, you have to take it off. I think that's it. Yeah, shoes, belt, jacket, liquids, and laptop. So, you know, because they're actually scanning everything in the, you know, the X-ray scanner thing machines, and basically they're just they're just security checking you. Make sure you're not putting, you know, shoe bomb, if you remember that from a few years ago, or, you know, like the liquids and stuff and such. So basically, it's just what TSA PreCheck does is that it's basically a pre-screening. You go, and I'll tell you the steps later, and basically you've been pre-screened, you've had your background check and your fingerprints, and so you can bypass this step. Now, mind you, they can still do checks, like they can still pick you out to do a random spot check. So just because you have a TSA PreCheck, that doesn't mean that you're scotch-free. If you're acting suspicious, or if they just want to randomly pick somebody to do an extra check, they can pick you. So just note, you know, they can still do extra security checks. But generally, this is a huge time saver. You go and most times it's a time saver. I've only had one time where the TSA line was longer than the regular security line. But anyways, that's besides the point. 90% of the time I've gone through the TSA PreCheck and been like in and out in a flash. So basically the steps. You go online. I'll put the link. I'll put everything in the description too, but I'll put the TSA website right here over Scar's face or whatever. And then you do their online application. After you do their online application, you schedule your appointment. In my case, because I live in Washington, D.C. area, I actually work near Dulles and the Dulles airport. So basically I just took, because it's like 5 minutes away, I basically took a longer lunch and I just I drove to Dulles, did my appointment, and then I went back to work. And I'll go over the appointment a little bit later. Yep, it's a 10-minute appointment, and then you wait. So basically, the appointment, you have to have I think it was 2 forms of ID that I had to bring. I had to bring payment. It's $85, and I believe they take pretty much any card, cash. I think you can do cashier check or money order, but it can't just be like a regular personal check, I believe. And so yeah, so it took me longer to park at Dulles and walk into the TSA office than it did the actual appointment. I sat down, she checked my IDs, because I think the information that I put in the online application was already in her system. She just had to pull it up, scan my IDs, and then also do my fingerprints and the background check. Now, I think and you don't get the background check results right then. There's a wait. So I think because I used to have TSA PreCheck when I used to work at the patent office, so I think my information was already in the system because I got my number extremely fast. I pretty much waited only a day and a half to get my number. That is not the norm. I think the norm is like a week, but it can take up to 3 weeks. So if you're planning on a trip, don't wait the last minute to do this. If you really want TSA PreCheck, give yourself at least a month before you plan to fly. And also, and another reason why it helps to do it is earlier is because then it gives enough time for like the airports, your airline to like register the information. So yeah, so basically she was pretty cordial. It was in and out. I was back in my office like within like 45 minutes. I think it really took longer for me to find parking and to walk back. And yep, and then the time it takes. So you get, it's like the known traveler number. And so if you have any airline profiles, like accounts, like I have an account with Southwest. I also fly American a lot. Basically all you do is take that number, your known traveler. I think it's known traveler number. I don't think it's not, yeah, KN or KTN, and you just plug it into your you go to your settings, your profiles. They'll ask you what's your known traveler number. You just put it there and hit save. Or if you are like in Expedia or somewhere else, I believe that you can also, I think there's a spot whenever you buy tickets, they'll have like, what is your known traveler ID number? And that's what that number is. So basically when the airlines get that number, they can just be like, oh, boom, TSA PreCheck. And like I remember with Southwest, they actually had it in like the upper corner, I can't remember which side it was, that it said TSA PreCheck. I think it was same with American and yada yada. So basically, those are some good examples of, of how you can use the number. Now, if you're military, you can use your DoD ID number. Active military. If you're I had my TSA PreCheck after I quit the patent office for I think like 3 or 4 years. I think kind of like because like TSA PreCheck, oh, I forgot important information. It's good for 5 years. It's $85 and it's good for 5 years. I'm so sorry I didn't say that earlier. But yes, $85 is good for 5 years. So like when I quit the patent office, I still have my TSA for like a few years. But so I'm not sure if you're like retired from the military, if you continue to have it. I know with my fiance, when he quit the Army, it was off of his thing like immediately. So I think it just depends on the system, how fast it boots you out. But if you're active duty, in uniform or out of uniform, you can you already get TSA PreCheck. If you're going on a civilian, like just a personal trip, get your DoD ID number and you can use that instead of your known traveler ID number. Because Chris was able to do that until he got out of the Army. So yes, and that saves you don't have to pay for that. So that saves you $85. Another way to save $85 is to check your credit cards. Some credit card companies they'll refund you your $85. Chris had an American Express and he by chance like looked at the benefits one day and he was like, yep, if you get TSA PreCheck, they refund it, and that's what they did. American Express refunded his $85 application fee. So that's some ways you can save money and get TSA PreCheck. So is it worth it? Yes, it has saved me time. Now I'm going to go over one way it's not worth it, but pretty much in my domestic air travel life, that I've had TSA PreChecked, yes, it has saved me so much headache. It has saved me from taking off my shoes and because please, those floors are not, even if they clean them every freaking second, it's dirty. Airports are dirty, like especially that area, sometimes I try to remember to wear socks, but sometimes I'm like, I'm ready for Florida. I'm ready to just wear flip-flops and enjoy myself. And for me to take off my shoes and touch that yucky floor, ooh. So just that. I don't really wear belts, so I don't have to worry about that. I am a jacket person. I love wearing jackets. I'm always freezing. So yes, not having to take off my jacket. Now mind you, that's a light jacket. Wintertime, expect to take off your heavy coats. So that's why they say light jacket. And my laptop, I really don't like who wants to take out their laptop and all of their liquids out of their carry-on? It's annoying, it's a hassle. So yes, it's definitely worth it. Now, I say the one reason why it's not worth it is that when I got it, I wasn't really looking ahead of time, and plus I didn't know this. I didn't know about global entry at the time that I got TSA PreCheck. Now that I know about it, I'm like, I really wish I hadn't gone TSA PreCheck. I wish I would have gone to global entry, because we're going to Norway next year and we're going to Japan hopefully in 2021. And also if we go on any cruises. Well, cruises is different, but yeah, but like we plan to do some. We also plan to go to Korea hopefully, and visit some of my mother's side of the family. So yeah, so we have 3 international trips coming in the next few years, and so if I known about global entry before I got TSA PreCheck, I would have just spend the extra $15 more and got global entry. Now global entry is not run by TSA. It is run by the U.S. Customs Border Patrol, or yes, U.S. Customs. And it's a very similar program to TSA PreCheck. And actually, if you spend the $100, TSA PreCheck is included in the cost of the $100. Now you might be asking, well, I already have TSA PreCheck. Can I pay like the extra? No, you can't. I checked. I tried. You can't just pay the extra $15 difference and get TSA to get global entry. I think it's because they're run. I don't know. It's the government, but the government can't. The government won't let you bump up. I don't know if it's because of different agencies a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, I already looked. You can't just pay the difference and get global entry. So, but you get, it's like pretty much similar to TSA PreCheck. When you come back in country, you go to these kiosks. They're supposed to expedite your process to coming back into country. Yep, and it's $10 more. Now, they say that the global entry is a little bit more limited than TSA PreCheck. So if you really want global entry, to really give yourself a little bit more extra time. Now, us being in the DC area, I know that there's probably a lot of appointment centers around here. But maybe if you're like in like North Dakota, there might not be as many appointment centers. So definitely double check. Like if you're planning to go overseas or using this system a lot and you want to get global entry done before your vacation or your trip, make sure you just give yourself enough time. I always, because I work as a federal contractor, I always joke, the government's slow. Give it more time. So if your trip's coming up in 3 months, do it now. Like just drop everything, do it now, get it done right away, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because sometimes the government is slow. If they get busy, especially with the holidays coming up, they might get a little backed up, or people might have the same idea, and they might just fill the appointment books. I don't know how busy they are. I'm not a TSA or U.S. Customs official. But basically, it is worth it. I would definitely, I would get it again if I don't plan to go international, but since I'm going to a lot of international trips in the next 5 years, I'm going to I'm going to switch to global entry. So I'll probably get global entry in the fall, so it will be good for 5 years. So that covers me for Norway, Korea, and Japan. So yeah. So until next time, guys, hit like, subscribe, tell me some of the places that you're excited to go to, if it's foreign or domestic. My next trip is Orlando, and we're going to Orlando twice this year, so I'm really looking forward to being in the TSA PreCheck line and keeping my shoes on. So until next time, guys, take care. Bye. Have a magical day.